right? They say keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, stay
You-
awake. You know what I'm
Yeah, you know
saying?
what I
Like
mean?
you get caught sleeping,
Yeah.
knock your block off. And that's kind of what it really was, and especially in the black community when it was stay woke, it was just more about, what's going on in society. Don't be so naive. And that's kind of what it came from. And then it just hijacked, and now it's, something else. But this is a moment that everybody need to be woke, because this country is headed in a place that we do not want to be, and we are full steam ahead heading in that direction.
Well, just like you said, don't be naive. Don't turn the channel. Gambling Nights is ready to go. Welcome everybody back for another episode of Gambling Nights. I am the host. I am the bartender for the night. They call me Moss Money. I got my guy with me, Humble, ready to share a drink. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? You
Here,
know?
man. Another day. Getting a little warm out here. We in June. It's kind of crazy. June is here. Summertime is right at the door.
Yeah,
I feel like
summertime
it's
is
gonna be a
here.
quick summer though, man. Some tell me it's gonna be a quick summer. I feel like we be in football season in a snap,
Yeah,
and we ain't
yeah,
even get there yet.
yeah. I think you're right though. I think the summer is going to be kind of quick. I think it's going to be a hot summer.
Mm.
I think it's going to be
Yeah,
hot this.
I mean, in many different ways, I think it's gonna be a hot summer. Woo, that's a lot going on, my man.
Yeah, no, there's a
It might be real hot. Hopefully,
yeah.
shit ain't burning down, but it's hot. It's hot.
It's steaming up. It's starting to steam up.
Hmm.
Starting to steam up. And there's a lot going on. But what we talking about today, for now at least, is sports. We'll get to some of the stuff of world affairs and United States affairs later on. So if you want to talk about, uh, you know, woke, non woke, left, right, conservative, progressive, liberal, whatever you want to talk about, my man Brandon's going to handle that conversation at the end to take us home for kind of a nightcap to make sure that like I said in the thing, our head is on a swivel. We know what's going on, and you can, kind of figure out and pick through that as we go. All right. First story of the day. I think the biggest story since we've been on.
Hold on, real quick.
Shit. Damn. Oh,
Because
damn, you can't do that when I'm
the
dropping like that. You
biggest.
can't
I
cut me
know, but
off
he said the
right there.
biggest story. I had to jump in with the biggest story. As you see, I'm representing
Oh,
that
okay.
that red and that hornet,
Okay.
as Delaware State and the Norfolk State Spartans
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
will be headed to the link here in my hometown of Philadelphia
Yes, sir.
for a clash of an HBCU classic.
Yeah.
Two coaches, former Philadelphia Eagles, and Michael Vick representing Norfolk State. Deshaun Jackson representing my home, my alumni, Delaware State University. Will be live and live in color at the link. I can't wait, man. Just want to make sure I give a shout out to my boys down there at Del State. I know it's summertime, but be ready come this season. Um, Deshaun, I know you're gonna do your thing. We got your support. You got your support. And we're gonna beat them Spartans on that lovely afternoon. I think it's a Thursday night game. Thursday night.
Yes, I think so. And they did a great job of scheduling no Eagles or no nothing during that day as well. So yeah, I guess I would think, started off with that. I think that was a good call.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I
Appreciate it.
think that was a good call.
Gotta
Started off.
represent the alumni.
Yeah. That's gonna be a crazy game. I think it's gonna be dope too, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the Eagles gonna show up in that game too.
100%.
Show out
I hope Andy can show up if he can. I don't know what his schedule is like, but that'd be cool if he can show up. I don't know. I mean, he may obviously be busy, but it'd be cool to see him represented. That's a big thing. I mean, Michael Vick and
this week.
Deshaun being back in the link and representing their growth, both being head coaches and leading young men. Um, hometown of Michael Vick being from Norfolk. I know it's a long way away from Deshaun, but we got a lot of respect for him. We got a lot of hope that he's going to be able to turn our program around there in Delaware State. Ain't much else to do in Dover, so but focus. So hopefully we can kind of get some players there, some
That on the
coaches there.
racetrack.
Yeah, man. And follow. I know we got a couple stories about Dion and hopefully follow that lead where we're changing pages in the HBCU and becoming
Yeah.
another big opportunity for
I'm,
smaller schools
I
like
meant to
you know.
ask, since you got some ties to both schools, Vic makes sense. Does D-Jack make sense? Like, I never thought that he had thoughts of becoming a head coach, and
Yeah,
not even that, at being a head coach of somewhere so close with Dell State in the area. I'm assuming he never went back. I'm assuming he got folks in Cali and he still got, his roots in Cali, but I'm assuming he was always, I guess, on the East Coast. We always know that a lot of these Eagles players typically don't go far, but I know he was a West Coast guy, and he obviously he reps that heavy. But interesting that he took a job over here on the East Coast, with Dell State. It's like you said, we're going to get into it. It could possibly it's the Dion effect.
mhm.
I was what I'm thinking, but DJ never took me as a person or a character or even his attitude or just what he presents as somebody who was going to be a head coach.
Yeah, it caught me by surprise. I don't even know how this happened. Um, I got to be a better alumni, former football player, star football player, I should say. But
He said star.
yeah, a little bit. I should be better as an alumni, being representing Dell State. But the years go by quick and fast. So you don't realize the next thing you know, you're 20 years out. Um, but yeah, it was a surprise to me. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm in a movie theater one day. This is a couple years back, and the guy that was working the movie theater, he was sweeping up a little bit, and I had a Delaware State hoodie on. He's like, "Oh, you went to Del State?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh," I was like, and we kind of busted up for a quick second. He played football too for Del State. He's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, what year you play football?" I was like, "Oh, I was down there 2001, 2005." He's like, "Oh, shoot." Like, it's a long time when you start thinking about it. And I start putting
Oh
myself in
yeah,
this
yeah,
position like,
yeah, yeah.
damn, when I was there, like the 90, you think about the 1990, 91 team, MEAC champion team. It's like, damn, that was a long time ago. I'm that person right now. So it's kind of crazy, man.
For
But
sure.
anyway, yeah, back to you, what you just asked. I don't know. Obviously, I think D-Jack was an LA guy. I don't think he was still residing over here on the East Coast. I think he was more back over in LA. I think it was just an opportunity. I think he's taking the opportunity. I think he's being serious about it. And we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. What's the worst we can do at this point besides try to change a page or spark something? And I think D-Jack is that piece.
You know when the tickets go on sale by any chance?
The 17th.
The 17th. All right,
Yep,
yeah,
of this month
yeah. I think we're gonna have to be in the building for sure.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Appreciate
gonna be
that.
dope.
We're
Yeah,
gonna need all the love, all the support.
that's gonna be
Come
dope.
out
It's gonna be dope. I mean, that's gonna change, maybe the landscape of HBCUs forever and type of
for
a
sure.
milestone in terms of not only just the platform that Vic and James is gonna bring to it, but also just Philly in general,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I'm gonna think that's gonna be on national television. That's my thought.
Yeah, it should be. It's a Thursday night game, a standalone game. It should be. I
Yeah,
was fortunate enough my freshman year to play in the vet. So I had a classic game here in my hometown my freshman year in Veteran Stadium, the final year to actually before it shut down. So I was able to play there. So it is a big moment, big
for
opportunity for
sure.
these kids to kind of shine. And it's going to be a lot of media around it because there's a lot of stories behind it. So hey, man, got your opportunity. I mean, even if you're not really a fan of football, HBCU schools bands are really big. I mean, you're
Yeah,
talking about some of the best music, best entertainment you'll see. A lot of the sorority, fraternity, energy that's in the building. It's just a big, great experience. I'll tell you, I would never change that experience. It's nothing like it.
yeah, yeah. I think, and like I said, I think this game could possibly, set up and change everything forever, for HBCUs in that platform, and hopefully, they put on a good show. Hopefully, it ain't an ass whooping, right? One side. I hope it was a competitive game, and I hope the seats get filled up. I really do.
Yep.
But again, we'll be in the building, so that should be dope. But again, things that are being changed forever, it's finally happened.
Hmm.
The House, Congress have finally come to an agreement, and too bad I kind of missed the cut because they got billions of dollars being back paid for people, but pretty much reading through that, Judge Claudia Wilkins approved the deal between the NCAA, the most powerful conferences and lawyers representing D1 athletes, the House and the NC settlement that was done. And pretty much, if you get to the bottom of all that fluff right there, the details, pretty much the NCAA has agreed to pay $2.8 billion in back damages, which is probably light, to be real with you, over the years of their deals. And um, I'm thinking they make $1 billion TV deals every year, like every year. Over the next years, the athletes who competed in college between '06 to the present day, moving forward, there's now really kind of a salary cap being started in 2025, 2026, where the schools can share revenue with their athletes, increasing year over year and roughly $20.5 million per school. We talked about this over and over again. It's finally here, bro. Everything's changed. I mean, it kind of changed already, but now it's on, ink to paper where everything's changed forever. And I think you were really concerned about the smaller schools that won't be able to compete with the bigger schools and how that's going to obviously change even the landscape in that standpoint. But what do you
Even
think
more.
about this, man? I think I saw. I also saw that I don't know how true this is, but I also saw they took away redshirt years. They're taking away redshirt years, and you'll be able to play for 5 years. And I believe the max starting out for your freshman year is you can get paid 100 grand. As I
Okay.
think that's what I saw. But also, if you make any
From
money,
under the school,
yeah,
right?
right, right. And I also saw from if you can, they are allowing you to make money from other endorsements,
Of course.
any other deals, just like you would in the NFL. You can make more money on top of what you're getting paid from the NCAA.
Um, I guess the most sour part about it is that I'm not a part of that group. And
Right. That's what I was thinking.
but besides that, man, I'm happy these young guys are getting opportunity to get paid. Man, if people don't understand how much work it is to be a Division 1 or not even a Division 1, but a college athlete, it is
Hmm.
very, very, very tough. It is more than a full time job. You're up at 5 in the morning. You have a schedule through damn near 7, 8 o'clock at night. This is every day, not including game and travel. It's a lot. And then you talk about you may have maybe 3 weeks of a break, Christmas
Right.
break, if you're not playing through the Christmas break. And then you're right into to winter ball, winter workouts, and then you're right into spring ball.
It's a job.
Um, it's a job. So I'm happy these guys are getting paid. Um, Unfortunately, this doesn't help the situation with it needing to be a salary cap. We just added more money. So now, hopefully, the next step would be possibly having a salary cap for certain teams and leagues. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be such a wild, wild west like we're seeing guys coming in and out, bouncing in the transfer portal, not committing fully to university, seeing athletes going to 3 to 5 different universities in their career. Like it's just enough's enough with that. And but unfortunately, it will continue to wedge that gap between those guys, those teams, those schools that have the money to pay for players at the end of the day. Um, so, you know, I guess we'll still have to have some time to work out the rest of the kinks. But I'm happy the guys are getting paid.
Yeah. I wish I could go back. Shit.
Hell yeah,
Yeah, man. I wish I could go back. Give me some money. God damn, you know what I mean? Because now, like think about it. Not even are you going to school for free, because this is added on top of scholarships. This isn't the scholarship. This
yeah,
is literally a paycheck. You know what I
yep.
mean? Is you're getting a paycheck, and it's just like I just wonder what the fallout is going to be, because I think there is going to be some fallout. If I'm making over 100,000 per year, like and I play all 5 years, whether that's true or not, I don't know the language of that, but I'm coming out with almost $500,000, and I get a free education. Like I don't know if I'm going to class like that. You know what I mean? Like, I like what am I like?
That's a good point.
Because like when I graduate, the odds of me
Getting that same check.
getting that same check is low with
Yeah,
no
that's a good point.
experience. Like like I think attendance will be up in terms of like more athletes are going to stay in school longer,
Mhm.
more than likely, because there's going to like people don't understand, like you just explained how hard it is to be an athlete in D1, and not even just a student athlete in all divisions, but just a D1 athlete.
Mhm.
And then from there, only 1% of
Yeah,
those kids make it, and then I'm just use football, make it to the NFL. You're talking about the top 1% make it to the NFL. We hear about a lot of the stories, the walk-ons who went to JUCO for a year and walked on their last year. They got their shot and they shine. But you got to understand how many kids actually play collegiate football across
yeah,
all divisions. And then from there, it's only 7 rounds of the
yep.
draft. We're talking
7
about
rounds of
thousands and
32.
thousands of kids.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you think about that, that's a very small percentage of kids who actually make it to the NFL and actually become stars in the NFL. It is really the one percenters, and I
And
think
then not on top of that is that who's going to survive in the NFL? Another only the 1% survive more than 3 years.
yeah,
So
correct. Yeah, the
it's
average
a
life in
it's
NFL is 3 years.
another layer. I know we all want to be professional athletes, and I get it. That's what we see on television every day. That's what we see on our phones every second to bet here, bet this, bet that, and
Yeah,
it's a we're in a weird dynamic, but I'm happy they are getting paid, and we shall see. You make a good point, though. You make a real good point.
yeah. I mean, I'm just incentive wise, like I'm gonna make more money in these next 4 to 5 years than I might in the next 10 or 15 years. Maybe
Yeah.
it's kind of what you're doing. It's kind of what you're going to school for.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're going to school for like business, like a lot of people are in marketing, especially with this AI wave coming, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Yep.
tough to find that job. It's gonna be tough to be able to do that and go get a job with a bachelor's, not an MBA, and try to go do something with that. Hopefully, a lot of cats
Save their
um,
money.
save their money, invest their money,
Yep.
get into real estate, do some other things that you see, some other people who are successful doing, and don't be foolish with it, and drive around with the Bentleys and all this other stuff that a lot of our kids are doing, and then wearing jewels all crazy, like, what I mean, it's just not a smart or a good look. So hopefully we get past that. All right, but things have absolutely changed forever in the NCAA, for sure. All right, which way should we go, dog? Which way should we go? You didn't give me no oop to move on to the next one. Had to get myself off the backboard. Yeah.
Let's clear the
Um.
air first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's clear the air with you
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
confusion with Deion Sanders and
Yeah. 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 Let me bring up the one, John. So we did a show. Was that last week? I think it was
it
last
was
week.
last week. It was last week.
Yeah. We did a show last week, and the show was about looking at Deion Sanders breaking the silence on Shador Sanders.
Mhm.
But during that video, we noticed that Deion didn't look like Deion. Yeah,
And now,
glasses
mind
on
you, we are both looking at this video for the first time,
for the first time, like
so
we
it was an
typically do.
impact. It impacted the way we were responding to the video.
Correct, correct. So, and the first thing we said was, "Hold up, Deion don't look right. There's something, there's
Mhm.
something, there's something wrong with the way Deion look." And I said, "Could this be a Chadwick
Yes. Mhm.
situation?" And we were just like, hold on. We don't want to speculate and put that in the air,
That's what we said. Yeah.
right? And I clarified at that time that that's not what I'm saying, But what I was comparing was we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and this could have been going on for years, right? And you're just visually seeing it. And unfortunately, we still don't know, but unfortunately, it did come to pass that Deion Sanders is dealing with some type of health issue. He's missing the Colorado Buffalo's camps at the moment. Said on the podcast, I don't know if that part got released during that podcast, but now I'm seeing it more and more that he lost almost 15 pounds of weight. So I think they interviewed Shador, and he said he's feeling better. He's feeling well. So clear the air with that. We all want Deion to be healthy and to keep doing things that Deion does. But I mean, we were right. We were right on the assessment. We were right to trust our eyes, and we were right to call out what we saw from our previous video that something just didn't look right at the time. And you know what? Let me see if I can play that video real quick. I do have that video.
Yeah, and added that it wasn't nothing for us. We weren't trying to wish anything on
Of
anybody.
course not.
It was just an observation we said that caught us off guard because we noticed how slim he looked in the face, and it just didn't look. It didn't look right. So,
So
as
I'm
anybody,
gonna bring it up right here. Like you could just tell. You could just tell right here. Watch this, John. You could just look at our faces like, hold up.
you can
This
look at the
don't look
face in this
right.
picture, and then look at that. Look at that picture. Look at the video.
Yeah, now look at this, John.
Right. Like, come on.
Yeah, like look at our face. Like look at both our faces right now. Right? Like we like, hold up. Let me zoom in just a little bit. A little bit. Let me see. Let me get in there a little bit. I don't think that joint gonna open up too much. But right there, you can see your face right there, and you just like, hold up, what's going on with Dion? I'm about to be right with you. So let
Yeah.
me play it real quick, and we'll go right to it. Yeah,
Dion, okay.
I was about to say the same thing. Dion look a little lean, man. That look like that kind of Chadwick type deal.
Chill. Come on now. We can't wish. We can't.
I'm,
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
just I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Yeah, it does look. It does. It
Look
does.
how lean
He
he
looks.
is,
He looks
dog.
super lean
Yeah,
in the neck and in the face area.
right. Yeah. So
I couldn't put the words to it. You see, I'm just trying to react to what I was seeing. It just didn't
right.
look right. Didn't look healthy at that moment. But I'm not trying. It's the first time seeing a video. I'm not trying to put his business out there. It just didn't
Mhm.
look right. I'm happy. Well, I'm not happy. Unfortunately, it did come out this week that he is suffering from something. It looks like he's turning a corner. He explained that he's on the road to recovery, and for whatever was costing him this issue, nothing but prayers and support for
For
Deion
sure.
Sanders in these moments. Um, but yeah, I think those are just our reaction to seeing something that was like, wait, I feel like I didn't see this happen. Like this just popped out of nowhere. Like
Yeah, yeah,
what's
no,
going
yeah.
on?
It just popped out of nowhere. He didn't look right.
Yeah,
It didn't look right.
yep.
I mean,
So
it's just really what it comes down to, and we just called it out. I don't think there's
prayers up for
anything.
his recovery.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not like, oh man, like not like I was trying to. I think because I had a couple comments, and I'm just like, like that wasn't a trying to go viral moment. Not even that. We talked about it before it even happened.
Hmm.
Like before it even actually kind of went viral because it was
Yeah,
something that we visually saw. Like, well, you got to understand when you watch the show, these videos are all candid. I know what I mean. Like, I don't go through the whole video. I'm like, all right, here's the video I want to see because I've seen clips from it or something like that. And then we kind of run with it live. That's the point of the show, to give live reactions to what we're seeing, and you know what I mean, and get that feel back. But yeah, it did come out again that he is having some health issues, like you said, turning the corner for the better, and that's what we want. That's what we want to hear. We keep Deion Sanders in our prayers and make sure that he gets back onto the sideline and getting back to prime being prime, as we all know and love. So, um, no new news on that though, so far, and I don't expect any new news from that. I think it'll be kind of tight as it should be,
Yeah, for sure.
as it should be.
I think this is the max we're gonna get. And I think this,
Yeah,
we respect him being open. I think that video probably had a lot of questions for people when
and
they
he
seen
knew
that.
that too.
He knew that. Yeah.
He knew it. He knew
Yep.
it the way he looked, and he
Yep.
know he how the questions would come. He knew that.
Yep.
That
Yep. Yep.
was on purpose. So, get ahead of that as best he can. All right. So what we got here? Getting ahead of something. I said getting ahead of something. What can we get ahead of? Oh, can we get ahead of? I guess let's go here.
This is crazy.
So I saw this. So I seen the joint on the right, and I ain't gonna hold you. Boy looked like he got wings when I saw the video because he was like, how my fucking bulls, shake their arms and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna hold you. This boy, it did look like two different people. Like it looked for two different people. Um, my thought that since he's juiced up now, he always wanted to use, or he was using something from before and just never got caught, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But the post says it all. The enhanced Olympic sports at this point are now in full effect. They get $1 million if they break any records. I think, and there was another thing for winning the race was $500K. I think I saw they're encouraged to use performance enhancing drugs. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know if I really like this. Doesn't make sense to me. It's like go ahead and cheat so we can celebrate almost. Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna incentivize you to break a record that was done by somebody who naturally did it, and now
And
we're gonna
you brag about it.
yeah, and you're gonna brag about it because you're using an advantage. It should be its own like section. It should be like there should be an asterisk next to people who are enhanced versus who are not.
It's pretty remarkable. And just a little heads up, looks like Indiana's going to take game 3. 2 seconds left. Last
Happened
heave,
today?
116-107 Indiana. Looks like they do their thing on the home court, man. They protect home court with the first win. OKC's going to regroup and at least try to steal one.
Anybody have the Pacers winning this series?
Not me. Not me. I said this, but I did say this. I said he was going to be one. Let's recap. I did say Indiana was going to win game 1. We got that. I said it's either going to be a 4.
So I remember. I'm gonna correct you. I remember
Mhm.
we both. You said you liked Indiana to win game 1, but we both loved plus 9.5.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
But don't forget,
not,
even when we said the series, I said it's going to be. Remember, we were talking about it. It was going to be. I said Indiana first,
yeah. I
and then we're going to
remember.
have OKC. And I said either it's going to be 4-1 or it's going to be Oklahoma in 7. Those are my 2 series predictions. So I'm the 4-1 is over. OKC in 7 is where we at now. But the game 1 Indiana was money. Just so people know. You heard
Yeah,
it
I
here
mean, I
first.
did. I did at this point. I gotta feel like if Indiana wins the next game, it's a wrap.
For sure. But I would right now potentially see what that number is, seeing where OKC will be landing for the series win. You might get a good price on that for especially with Indiana having another home game. This will be the moment for you to jump on OKC if you still feel like OKC can win.
Who would have
Because
thought?
that series should get to probably about close to even money.
I want to see the tickets who people who had Pacers in the beginning of the year to win the whole goddamn thing because there's somebody out there with that shit.
Yeah, but Pacers went to they went to the NBA conference championship last year.
Yeah,
Lost to Boston.
but who had them beating the Thunder?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Our bad. We did sidetracks. This
Yeah,
situation, this is bullshit. This is BS.
yeah.
First off, for everybody, enhancements, steroids, whatever they're calling it now in 2025, it is a dangerous game you will play. Doing these things, any type of accelerated supplements to make you get stronger rapidly is not good for the body and is unhealthy. I do not condone any of these type of things, but people can do what they want to do. And hey, somebody gonna pay me $1 million to do. Not me, but if somebody's gonna pay $1 million to do it, and they're gonna take it, God bless them. But I'm not going to put my health and life in danger for that. Look at the difference. Like we're not talking about a long period of time. Like it's now getting to the games part of them trying to break records is like that's just like disrespecting to the own sport that you played.
Yeah,
Right?
but
You're now
they about it though.
I know they buy it, but you know how hard it is to be an Olympic champion. You know how hard it is to break a world record. Like you know the struggle to get there, especially as an independent sport, like where you it's just you in a pool. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to want to like celebrate me breaking a world record, knowing that I'm juiced and jacked up is insane mentally. And these guys probably need to get checked.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, but it is kind of crazy. Like it's just crazy the two side pictures. Like it don't even look like the same ball. You know what I mean? Even
So
his
this will be
ear.
in Vegas. This will be in Vegas, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's wild.
What's the world coming to?
I don't know. I don't know. But the world is coming full circle when you got these type of characters on the same team.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you give me a little bit. That was just a little, you know, little
Yeah,
layup, a little
cause
layup,
only because this guy number 8, man. I'm just not a really a fan of his.
little layup at the end there. It's finally happened. Mr. Rogers is going to Pittsburgh. Signed a 1-year deal, up to 13 million. I believe signing was 13 million and up to incentives was 19 million. Um, Interesting take on this one. I reported this earlier when it first broke. Was that their first game is against the Jets, which I think is really interesting, and it's the first time ever that two starting quarterbacks who played for the opposite team will be playing each other in game one. Justin Fields
Oh shit.
is on the Jets, and he
Oh, he
played.
is on the Jets.
Yeah, crazy as that,
Damn, I ain't
right?
even talk about that.
Right?
Former teams playing each
Stories,
other
stories on
in quarterback.
stories, in week one.
Mm.
Stories on week one. So, and I think even Myles Garrett came out and said, I believe Aaron Rodgers is the only active quarterback that Myles Garrett has not sacked.
Well, he gonna
Um,
have a chance this year.
yeah, right, right. So
Couple times.
I don't know. What do you think about this, man? I mean, Pittsburgh really overhauled everything, right? They got rid of Wilson, they got rid of Fields. Um, the running back is uh, escaping my mind on what his name is. He's gone. Pickens is gone. I'm trying to think who else. Defense is pretty much actually TJ Watt is sitting out right now,
Yeah, he was
contract
vacated.
dispute. So a lot of things going on in Pittsburgh right now. Shit, my daughter is going to school in Pittsburgh. A lot of things going on in Pittsburgh
Congratulations.
right now. So thank you. I don't know. What do you think about this matchup, man? You think this is going to work with Tomlin and Rodgers, or match made in heaven? He said Tomlin was really the reason he went to Pittsburgh. This is more likely going to be I would think the last season for him. He gave this whole speech about most of his picks were for ego. This one was about feel and gut feel for this one. So I don't know, man. When you think about this picture right here, and when you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward in a tough division.
Yeah, I don't really think too much about him. Um, I mean, good for Aaron. I think anybody would want a coach like Mike Tomlin to be in their corner, right? I think Mike or Coach Tomlin keeps things 100. He's going to keep it real. I think for the most part, I think Aaron's the same personality. I just think he's a scumbag. And
Let's keep it a bean, huh?
yeah, so at that point, I just don't really care too much about him, nor do I care about the Steelers really much either. So I think it's interesting stories week one, and I think Aaron is done, and it's time to move on. It's so funny. We're just in a place in sports right now, especially the most popular sports, football, basketball. Um, Maybe not as much with baseball. I don't watch too much hockey, but when I in playoff time, I do like to see it. But we're in a space where there's a lot of transition of superstars and a new era of the new crop. And Aaron is one of those last dinosaurs that need to go ahead and get put to rest as a football player, and look forward to potentially being a Hall of Famer. So I don't really care too much about the Pittsburgh Steelers nor Aaron Rodgers. We what do we see him this year? Maybe no, I don't think we see him this
I
year,
don't
right?
think we play them
We
this
may
year.
see him in a probably preseason, but nobody gonna play that game anyway. So yeah, man, whatever. Good luck to Mike Tomlin, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. I think. I mean, I think it's good for football. It's good storylines. So we'll see. I think they'll be mediocre like they always have been. You know,
I don't need 1,000 primetime games of it though. Please save me it.
yeah. I don't
We
know
had
what.
we had too many Jets game last year.
True. Yeah, I
So
don't. I don't.
I don't need no more Pittsburgh unless it's Pittsburgh, Baltimore, or Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. I don't need to see Pittsburgh in the Jets because that's a good story.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what their primetime schedule is or where they're at, but it wouldn't be surprising me if you see a couple. Movement. Moving forward as they always do.
Since we own an NFL topic, I don't think we got any other NFL topics. So, is there any surprise teams this year that you think is going to be a team that make noise
Mm,
besides the Eagles? I mean, obviously Eagles are favorite, right? So, any surprise teams that you think can kind of be that team that can kind of make some noise?
uh,
Not an underdog, just a surprise team.
that's a surprise team. Surprise team. A team that might be better than what we expect or think. No, I don't see anything that. I mean, there's always one, right? There's always one that kind of
Mhm.
comes out of nowhere. I mean, the ones that where you would think would be coming up is like like the teams like Denver, Atlanta, Chicago. Ones that showed a little bit of flashes, showed like they had a little. They finally got some talent, and that they're moving. You know what? Who I'll go with? I'll go with the Cardinals.
I'm
The
sorry,
Cardinals might.
I thought you said the Cardinals. What'd you say?
Yeah. Cardinals. I think. Yeah. I mean, you're asking me for one, and a weak division
The
where Seattle,
Cardinals.
the Seattle's not that good. The Niners
Mhm.
are rebuilding. The Rams are pretty much the cream of the crop. But I like their draft that they just had. I think their draft was a little bit underrated. They got Walter Nolan, the big D tackle from Old Miss. He was on the Eagles' radar. It's a really good player. They don't forget they got Will Johnson from Michigan. If he can stay healthy, that's he's a round one type talent,
Yeah.
right? And then they got a lot of depth, from I think the edge guy from Oregon, Jordan Birch. So I mean, their whole draft was defense,
Mhm.
right? Their whole draft was their defense. And then they got Trey McBride. Yeah, obviously we know about Harrison. Kyler Murray can same stay healthy. They traded for they signed Josh Sweat, right? So still got Butter Baker back there. So when you look at that division is not a strong division.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? When you think
Yeah.
about that
I
division is
gotta
not
look
a
at that.
strong division.
I
So
keep.
yeah, I honestly, bro, I think the Cardinals, you know, and they were what was their record last year? They were like was they like 5-12 or let me see what their record was last year. They were third in the division last year, and I mean they started off hot. Well, not started off hot, but before their bye week, they were 6-4, so they're okay. And then they lost five out of their last seven.
I think it's gonna be hard
So
to win with Kyler Murray.
two,
I
three,
think he's
four.
talented, but I don't think he's gonna be able to kind of push them over the edge.
Yeah, so I mean they were 8-9 with a bad, with not a good roster. They were almost 500, and they definitely got better. I mean, we
Well,
saw what Harrison looked like. Harrison looked like he was enhancing. You know what I mean?
speaking of enhancing, he's that boy been in the gym.
Yeah, for real. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals to be
Okay,
possibly a shocker in that NFC West division.
I'm gonna stay in that the division. Obviously, I think the team to be scared of is the Rams, right? I think
Yeah,
they're a
I
team you got
think
to
that's
worry
gonna be.
about, right?
Yeah,
But I'm gonna go back to what you're saying. Only on this little small little take, I give a little. I think whatever it is that you think about the 49ers, I think you need to go on the over. I know people gonna be like, "What? They're in a rebuild mode." There's something about the NFL wanting the 49ers to do well this season. They have one of the easiest schedules this season. They also have like the most primetime games for some odd reason. That's a telltale for me that something's going to happen with the 49ers. I would start with sprinkling something on their futures just because it's almost like seeing a line somewhere that just doesn't look right. And you're kind of like putting that money on that line. Now they can just be bad because they are in rebuild, but it's something about those two nuggets of having it one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, and then having max amount of primetime games on television, knowing that the roster is the way it is. So something's happening here. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to put a little bit of future money on the 49ers just because I think the value is going to be there. So we like the
yeah,
value shop here on the pod.
yeah, Donna. I think the Chargers are not a surprise team to me anymore.
Yeah, I don't see this as surprising.
But I'm on that boat that Herbert Lawrence ain't shit. Um, all the talent in the world, still living off college hype. They haven't won nothing. So until they get over the hump and win something, in my head, then they're not shit. But now that offense is set up to go. Right? They got Najee Harris, they got Hampton, their first round pick from North Carolina. I would expect Lad McConkey to kind of continue to go on. Quentin Johnston showed up last year. Mike Williams came back, but their offensive line is stout, right? They got another Eagle here, Mekhi Beckham over there. They got Slater and Alt as their bookends. So man, I mean they got some players on that offense, and that offensive line is going to maul them, and they're going to run the ball. So, I mean, I it's a tough division too, right? You still got Denver, and you still got KC in that division as well. But it'll. I think it'll be a little bit. I think it'll be tough for them, but I expect them to make the playoffs at least for sure. Don't worry, we'll get into the NFL. You know what I mean? We'll get into the NFL. What do y'all think is the worst team right now? Um, the worst team in the NFL?
Jaguars.
Probably nah. Who's tanking? The Saints
Mm. Yeah, Saints definitely
tanking
tanking
for
from
Manning,
Manning for
tanking
sure.
for Manning, tanking for Manning for sure,
Mm.
tanking
Yeah,
for Manning. So you know who else is we kind of don't understand in terms with football and divisions and surprise teams and tanking. Cincinnati Bengals, man, screwing their number one pick, Stewart, defensive tackle.
I wanted him too.
Um, so the story is that he's not signed right now. Cincinnati Bengals are going through language to remove being able to have was it future guaranteed money on his contract, and it's just like a scenario where it's just really weird why they're trying to do that to their first round pick when other first round picks actually obviously have guarantees on their contract. I'm not going to play the whole video. I haven't heard the video. I saw it, and just downloaded it. But let's listen to his frustrations about what's going on with the Cincinnati Bengals and how They just can't figure it the fuck out for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they just can't figure it out.
Yeah, I really don't know.
What have you been doing to stay locked in and and there's only so much that can replicate on the field reps, but what have you been doing to make sure that you're actually locked in when you're out there knowing that you can't do anything?
I still go to meetings. I still study my playbook. Take down the right notes, and then whenever I get some free time, I go out to train at Black Sheep.
Is it fair to say at this point that you will not step foot on the practice field in practice until you're signed?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, probably him and his agent has went over what to say when the media asks a question. It's pretty much a storm. We understand that there's a difference between the business and sports, but what Cincinnati's doing, I just don't understand. I mean, this is normal stuff that they, first round picks. It's almost like they're trying to set a new precedence
Mhm.
about how to deal with your first round picks, maybe after a certain, number or whatever. I'm really like, you got this guy sitting, he's working out on his own. Like, what are we doing? And I guess I got to look it up, or maybe more in detail. Is it guarantees in this contract that they're trying to remove language for, or is it like future after this like what is the detail of where are they trying to remove the guarantees from?
Yeah, I got to do some research on that piece. I just thought it was very unique that since he just can't get right with any of their holdouts right now. Don't forget, he's not the only one that's holding out. They still haven't signed
Yeah,
Hawkinson,
Henderson.
who's the leader in
You talking about
sacks this past year.
Henderson?
Trey, isn't it Trey Hawkinson?
No, Henderson.
Is it Henderson? I think it's is it Henderson? Okay.
Yeah.
But they haven't signed him either. And you got two big pieces that can help your team right away. You handled your offense, and it's your defense that was your issue. So what's the holdup? Like get your team right. Cincinnati can't get out their own way right here. You got this player sitting right here on his bench. He's saying, "I'm not going to play." I mean, damn, have you
Right.
ever seen a draft pick, request a trade before they even step on the field? I would love to see that play out.
Well,
Um,
I think he played it smart. I think yeah, well, I guess let's play the video. I think he talks about that.
Very bad. I mean, I've been doing this for most of my whole life, and then all of a sudden it's gone over something very simple to fix. It's kind of disappointing.
Have they given you any answers as to why they're choosing this year and you to set a new precedent?
If I really wanted to say, yeah, I can't say what I really want to say, but it's their contract. They can do what they want with it.
How important is it for you? Do you think?
I thought they said something. But he did come out. I read in the article. He did come out and say he's not looking to get traded. He just got to the NFL. He's still new, trying to learn his teammates, trying to still learn the city. Chill's trying to learn the team organization. He's still happy. He's saying the right things. Still happy for the opportunity to play in the NFL and to play for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he just wants to get it done. I think it was the kind of language that he was talking about. Let me see what they're trying to
I don't
do
think I've
now.
ever seen anything like this though. So, like I said, he seems like a nice young man. I know he's a baller on the football field. Um, yeah, man, Cincinnati, get it together, brother. Y'all don't have time to be effing around, man. You got teams like the Baltimore Ravens in your division. You got Aaron Rodgers now in your division. You can't be out here messing around and wasting those good years of Joe Burrow and that Chase Jamar Chase years. You gotta go
And not
get it.
even that, this guy, I would assume this guy is looked at as a starter or a big
Yeah,
rotationary piece.
for sure.
Like I don't
Especially when you didn't
understand what
sign your
they're.
best defensive lineman. What are we talking about?
Right, right, exactly. I'm trying to see what ample cap space. Yeah, he's just looking at uh, for his contract terms to be similar to past Bengals draft picks. looking to get it resolved before camp, but it doesn't say exactly um, what's the dispute. I know it's about the language about the guaranteed money. The question is, um, the question is it future guaranteed money, or is it like right now being guaranteed money? So not really saying, but yeah, like you said, kind of crazy situation to kind of watch. Don said to send Trey Hendrickson to Detroit. Yeah, right. They're not doing that. They're not
No,
doing
hell
that.
no.
Don,
If anywhere, he gonna be a bird,
not
Don
doing that.
Don. He gonna be a bird, not a lion.
He not gonna be a bird either. That boy looking to get paid, and he looking to get paid like he the top defensive lineman in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
17 sacks, 17 and a half sacks last season. That'll do it. He's out
yeah,
there.
bet on
He's
himself.
out there at practice in a golf shirt. They said in khakis. So he ain't looking to play no time soon until they get that contract right.
Right,
At
right,
least
right,
17
right.
and a half million a year. I would go. I want a million a sack.
I hear that. You said something. We kind of went in a different way, just step in football. But you said something earlier when you talked about Aaron Rodgers and how the old guard is leaving, and now it's time for the new guns to kind of come in and make a name for themselves. Well, one of them did in a different sport. Coco wins the French Open. I think that was 2 days ago. Was it? Or was it over the weekend? I forget when it
Sunday.
was. Yeah,
Saturday.
Sunday. Was
It
it
was
Saturday?
Saturday. Saturday.
Over the
Saturday.
weekend?
Yep.
Over the
Hmm.
weekend. First U.S. woman to win since Serena. And if you look at that picture of Serena, that's young Serena too. And that's why that's there. I'm not comparing Coco to Serena. Would never disrespect Serena like that. Even though Coco's really starting to come on. She's only 18.
No,
So
she's older than 18.
is she 18 or is she 20? I thought she was
She's like
18.
20, 21.
She
She just
21?
20. She's 21. Yeah, I think she's 21.
21? Okay, I'm sorry, 21.
I want to say
Still
21.
young in the game, right?
Very
Still,
young.
still
Very young.
very young in the game. Um, Played a great match. Was down. I think it was she was down almost 5-6, no 5-1. Came back and won the first set. I think lost the second. Went 5 sets. I think it went.
No,
Um,
no, no. Damn, you all wrong on this, John.
no,
She
my bad.
lost the first. She lost the first set and won the back two. That's it.
Okay.
So women plays best of three. Men play best of five in majors only.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about men's French Open
Yeah,
with
men's is best
Carlos.
of five.
Yeah,
That
he
was
went
that
5.
Carlos was a great. That was
Yeah,
a great match.
Yeah,
He
that
won
was when he
five,
came back. He
down
came back
two sets
crazy.
and came
Yep.
back. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. 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 My bad. He does that a lot though too.
No, this is the first time he ever came back and won that down two sets.
I
He's
felt
0
like
and
it
5.
gets
No,
not
he's never been.
what the fuck is his name? Bull's been number one forever. Tall bull. Damn, what the fuck is
Djokovic.
Yeah, Djokovic.
Yeah, no,
I feel like Djokovic went up on him a couple times and he's come back on
maybe not, but
Djokovic.
not two sets. So Carlos has never been down two sets to come back and win.
Right.
He's
Okay.
0 and 5 and down two sets. That's a very
Okay.
tough thing to do, to come back and win three straight sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a salute. But back to Coco, man.
Yeah,
Salute to
back to Coco.
Coco. We know she has all the potential. It is a tough field for women's tennis up top. You have some good names up there with Sabalenka, who's a sore loser. But
Right.
she has,
Yeah. I saw that. Her comments were crazy.
yeah, out of control.
Coco didn't win. I just made mistakes.
Right. I just didn't play my best.
let me keep it. I look into the camera for you. Let me keep it 100. No, bitch, you lost.
You lost. And she
You
beat
lost.
you.
She
She had to
beat
play
you.
in the same elements you played in the same elements.
Yeah.
So are you pretty much saying you only can win in perfect elements to be the number one player?
Yeah. It's
Listen,
definitely
Sabalenka
true.
is a great tennis player. She's number one for a reason. I don't think she should have took that route. She should have been an honorable champion like she is. And you'll get her back again. You'll have your opportunity again to get to her. I just think Coco gets under people's skin, especially when they're just such perfectionists. And it's like, no matter what, she just keeps fighting. So salute to Coco, man. She has a great future. Um, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm a
She
big
came.
cricket fan
She came a
since she was
long way.
10 years old. Yeah,
Came
six.
a
She been
long.
playing since she was what, 15, 16 years old?
Yeah, when she went pro, 16 years old, and she just wasn't there. Body wasn't there yet. I think the serve wasn't there yet. In the beginning, she could volley, right? She could, back and forth, but she couldn't really overpower people. And I still don't think that's her game. She just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. But looking at some highlights from that game, I didn't get a chance to see the match, but looking at some highlights from that, like her service came a long way from what I remember. So, yeah, shout out to Coco. I wanted to make sure we put Coco on, give her some time on the map here. All right. Now, usually the show is called Gambling Nights, and we typically don't talk really about much gambling stories unless something good comes out. But I do have one interesting gambling story tonight, and that's about the U.S. Open and Scott
Scheffler.
Scheffler. Scott Scheffler being the favorite. Now, the interesting story about Scott Scheffler being the favorite is that he doesn't like being the favorite because, all these athletes know about odds. Here's the funny story. Did it come up? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He had to delete his Venmo account because people were requesting money from him when he lost and they bet on him. So he actually had to, and some people actually sent him money when they won on him. So he actually had to get rid of his Venmo account so he wouldn't have that distraction or anything or pay attention to the things like that. Are we running into something new where fans, family members who have access to these players or your own circles, where now players have to worry about their own members and friends and family betting on them and having a problem if they lose?
Yeah, it's out of control.
Like, that's out of control. That's like, just think about that. You lose and you look on your joint and you got people hitting you for Venmo. Yo, I'm gonna need that $100 back, dog.
Right.
I bet on you I bet on you to finish top 5 and you finish 7th.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
You know
that.
what
I
I'm
need
saying?
that back.
I need that bean back. I thought that was so crazy that was a story that actually came out about him actually deleting. Like I don't think he went and said that. Like, somebody had to find that out. That he actually deleted his Venmo account because of betting.
Yeah. Golf is a very, very difficult sport, man. I like betting golf live, especially the 7th, the 4th day, which is the Sunday, because you can kind of get some angles while you're watching and seeing who's kind of who may make a run, who may not. Especially if it's a close match, right? Because you can kind of get some good plus money throughout the day. Scottie going into the U.S. Open is going to be favored because this is such a long course. I say long is that the holes are long, right? And you want to probably look for those that can drive.
The
holes are long.
Holes are long.
And you want to look for players that can drive the ball, hit the fairways, and make it up on time. Since Scottie is Scottie would be the Tiger Woods of this time frame. That's how good Scottie is.
Yeah.
And that's why he's favored. He's probably gonna be favored in most tournaments. But this course actually favors him probably the most. It's one of the most difficult ones because of that factor. So just a little future betting. If you are going to look at certain players, I will look at probably like a Bryson DeChambeau. There's a lot of power off the tee. Maybe to kind of finish in the top 10. I think he'll be in a race in the last day. You can look at. I know John Rahm hasn't been kind of playing super well, but this is a good course for him to potentially kind of, I would say top 10, top 20 for sure, or potentially make, put some money on it to win because this course will favor him also. Yeah, man. But it is.
We're not gonna cheat our fans like that. Come on now, we're not gonna cheat our fans like that. We're gonna bring up the handy dandy sports.
Yeah, bring it up.
Bring up the handy dandy sportsbook and let's look at the numbers. Let's not cheat them because I don't bet golf. I don't. I'm not. I'm familiar with the names. Maybe I might jump in at late where there might be a little bit of plus money, and one of the name guys got a good lead, and but
Damn, look at those. They're in the top three. That's so crazy. I didn't even look at this stuff yet.
yeah, yeah.
The 3 foot, yeah. Well, I guess it makes sense. Well, there you go. What I'm saying to you is true. That this course favors these three players. And obviously, they're the highest um, of odds. I would definitely look at Scotty. Um,
What did Rory just win? Rory, was it the Masters? Did he just win?
yeah, Rory won the Masters.
The Masters. Okay.
But this is not a course for Rory. I would actually probably put money on and probably get good money on Rory not to make the cut. I
Not
know
to
it
make the
sounds
cut.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but not to make cut. I could get like +2, +300.
Rory's
Um,
getting old, right?
no, he's not old.
He's not
I mean,
old.
he's older, but he's not old.
I felt like
But
last time we saw Rory, he had
golf is a
some
golf is a
gray in
game
him.
that you can play for a long time, man. You can play
Yeah, I
this
know
until
that. I
you.
mean, look at Daly.
Now, one thing I do see if you go to the Ugberg up a little bit, there's some good value here from the top 20 here. So Ludwig Ugberg, you get
Yeah.
+260 to be in the top 20. That's a really good play right there. That would be my sleeper in this match. Everything else will be the top three for this course anyway.
So last year, Bryson won. Bryson's won this in the last. He won it twice in the last 5 years. Yeah, I was looking at Brooks. I thought Brooks won it back to back.
Yeah, Brooks Koepka's not playing good golf right now, so no.
Right.
But don't forget, it's not just because it's the U.S. Open. You got to know where they're playing at. U.S. Open is not always played at the same course.
Where's this one played at?
This is in is it Carolina.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of it. We can find what the name is. I think the only course that's played at the same course normally is like the Masters, and then I think you go over to.
He said to miss the cut. So
miss the cut. It'd be Rory to miss the cut.
Rory ain't gonna miss the cut. He's got to be plus money, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be plus money.
Yeah. I really never did go golf like that. Wow, he's really. Where is Rory?
There you go, +210.
+210.
Yeah, so it's okay. It's not bad for him to miss the cut. I mean, Rory, the way he's been driving the last few weeks has been terrible. He hasn't been driving the ball well at all. I think he's even noticed that. I think in an interview he's even said have you seen me drive lately? Like he's not even confident in where his balls are going to land. And in this course here, you're going to need to hit the fairways. So this would be an opportunity with plus money to see Rory not make the cut. I think it's easy money, or not easy, but I think it's a good opportunity for him to potentially not make it to Saturday.
Okay. Any other bets from?
I would go back up to. I will sprinkle something on Scottie to win, which is +2 something. I would look at John Rahm in the top 20. I think it's going to be closer to maybe top 10. John Rahm, and then John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau top 10. I will work that out.
I'm assuming you can parlay these, right?
Should.
Nah, we can't.
It's X'd out.
Yeah. Let me see if I open this joint up a little bit. Yeah. Parlay say unfortunately you cannot. Maybe it's DraftKings and maybe you can in FanDuel. Yeah, for me, I guess what are typically the odds? When you bet golf? You say you like to bet golf live, but when you do bet golf, are you betting the person who's coming in hot, who's been hot the last couple of weeks, or is it more of the course and how their game translates to the course?
So since if I'm betting it live, it's usually going to be on the last day, so the game's already kind of like got a flow. I'll see who's in the top two, and then I'll start watching it early and see who has it that day, right? Is he hitting the greens, hitting the fairways? Is he putting strong? And then if it's a close match, somebody might be down one stroke. You'll be able to get some plus money on that person to win the tournament. And then you just got to kind of hope that the person in the lead kind of messes up a little bit, get you back to even. Then you can hammer it again. You kind of get what I'm saying? So you can start stacking your bets, and that's why I like it on the day four on the last day, so you can kind of get good. You can kind of get in good place. So say for instance, I give you an example. Say somebody I got comp. Say Scotty is right now six under. The leader to start the day is 8 under. Right, you might get some good value on Scotty to win this match, and I got
Mhm.
confidence Scotty can win this match. So I might touch Scotty at plus 160 right now. Right. Next thing you know, he's tied for the thing. I might be to jump on him again for maybe minus 110. So I'm already kind of in two places. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
So I like to stack the bets when it comes down to the last day live.
Just double chance don't look too bad. Give yourself 2 shots to win.
Only thing about Bryson DeChambeau, flutters sometimes coming down a stretch. So it's just
And then
I don't like
triple
that.
chance.
Triple trans look good though. Bryson, you got three for plus 120. I would take that.
Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all.
Anytime you're in a plus money side, it's a good investment.
Yep, for sure, for sure. All right, learn a little bit of golf today because I don't bet golf. So I do know some of the players and I do watch, but Um, I don't know golf in terms of betting. It's a different game for me. Different game for me. All right. We came to the end of the show. We're right on time here. We want to start a new segment that we have been doing on the back end in our conversations, and it's more of a segment to kind of give people just a different view, I would say, of what is not going on just in sports but in the world today. And we just want to make sure people have their heads on a swivel, make sure they understand what's going on in the world today. Um, you know, a lot of people say, do your own research and things like that. And I think that's important. You should do your own research and double check all the facts that anybody's telling you, especially, if you're watching this for the first time, random guys on YouTube. I think that's important, but it's also important just to relay information. Information to me is most to be shared. Um, you know, I think it's also to have unbiased um, opinions until you understand both sides. That's just my opinion about it. But also, I think it's also to just lay out the facts and what they are. So, with that being said, I'll turn it over to my guy over here to give us kind of a snippet of what's happening in the world today, and some of the things that we should be worried about, and make sure that you keep your head on the swivel and make sure that you keep yourself, your family, and people around you safe.
Yeah, I know we talk a lot about different hot topics. We talk about sports, mainly. Um, but I mean, it just gives the opportunity to kind of really touch on the world and where we stand at right now. Well, not the world, really more of the country where we're standing at right now. It's a lot going on, guys. Um, whatever your opinion you have is your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion and their viewpoints uh, to an extent, right? Unless it's going to hurt somebody. Um, but don't be blind, right? Don't be blind to what's happening. Don't just ignore. Uh, if you can, do your best to be involved. There's a lot of things that's going on. Obviously, we got the LA stuff that's going on. You got a parade coming up this weekend. You got a lot of protests that's going to be hitting your city real soon. I know it's going to be hitting here in Philadelphia over the weekend. So just be mindful of what's really happening out here. Unfortunately, we have a leader that's pushing all the boundaries of the Constitution that he can, and he's doing it intentionally. So, whatever that means to you, just make sure that you guys are what we originally came up with the phrase of being woke is be aware. Be aware. Don't just go with the flow. see through what's happening, and make your own decisions from there. But most importantly, be safe, protect your family, because we don't know as this thing is turning where it's going to go. You know, the military is now on U.S. soil. Um, we now have a presentation of tanks going to be roaming through the streets in Washington, which I don't think ever has have happened. Like we're somewhere in a dictatorship ran country. So once again, just be careful, be mindful, stay alert, and pick what you make sure you're watching and make sure you are fact checking what's happening. That's all I can say today. I know we have another opportunity next week, and I'm sure it'll be another story next week. So
For sure. Always, always a story. It's
with
always
this
the
with
gift that
these with
keeps
these
giving.
people, it's always a story for sure.
Always a story, man. The gift that keeps on giving. Well said. I think the big thing is whatever your political affiliation or your viewpoint in general. If you're not a political person, I think it's always key to say, be safe, keep your family safe, and keep your friends around you safe as much as you can, because it's a crazy world we live in, right? We have riots in the streets, and then PA just talked about signing a $20 billion deal for AI. You know, kind of yin and yang, right? Complete and not even that, and even in distance, right? You got things going in LA and now things going in PA. I think the PA thing is kind of like a good thing, right? Because that's a lot of revenue for the state. And then you got the thing in LA where, they might not have seen riots like that since the gang riots, right? Back in what the 80s, I think.
Well,
Um,
92, but I don't even think that's even facts that's really happening because when you see stories from people that's in LA, I know many people in LA. It's not what you think you're seeing on the media, right? The media is going to show you the worst of the worst, but the narration of where these blocks are of downtown Los Angeles is like I could be 10 blocks over, won't even know what's going on.
right,
The
right,
city of Los Angeles is very, very large. In
correct.
'92, the city was burning down. That was everywhere. It was Compton, it was Watts, it was Inglewood. We're talking about multiple cities at the same time in flames. This is not what's happening, but this is what he wants you to think is happening. And this is why the boots are on the street, because of the fact that this is his narrative that he's pushing. And this is where we are. So, like I said, do your research. I don't want to change anybody's mind. I'm not here to do that. I just want to make sure people are actually not just paying attention to what they're seeing and actually kind of looking past the message a little bit.
All right, well said, well said. Nothing to add. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks, Don, as always, being with your comments. I appreciate you, brother.
We got to get Don Don
Um,
on the show. I want to see who Don Don is.
little little
All right, I
16.
want to see a
Yeah,
picture of Don Don.
Don is 16
Yeah,
years
you are
old,
formally invited come football
bro.
season to the show. I want you to pop on,
That's funny. I like that. I like that. Yeah, we have to work that out,
special
Don.
guest.
Especially if whatever Detroit play, if Detroit got a big game, we're gonna get Don on for sure. All right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Thanks for joining in. We will see you guys next week. This weekend we will be doing WNBA basketball bets. Getting back on that. Didn't have a great weekend last week, and then Monday for Victory Mondays, and we do it all over again on next Wednesday. For Moss Money, I'm Moss Money. That's Be Humble. We'll catch you guys later on. Have a good night.